Gucci.
There, how's that?
We can like record both of that. All right, so hello everybody. This is Eric. My wife Christie. You guys have never met her before, but here she is. And after what, almost 25 and a half years, we're still married and
crazy to believe.
Just about to start on some serious adventuring in our new Tiffin Wayfarer here. That's, you can kind of see to the right of the camera. There will be lots more video after this, but we just wanted to introduce ourselves. So we have 2 teenage kids, and fortunately they're old enough now to be able to be on their own, and we don't have to manage their every move. And so we're looking forward to doing some adventuring. And just in a few weeks, we're going to be going to Sweet Home, which is close to our house, because we are completely brand new motorhomers. We don't know anything. In fact, it took you how long to get the stairs up?
I don't know. It took me a few minutes to figure out how to get the stairs in. I didn't
realize
there was a button on the inside of the door that turns them off and on.
So anyway, you're going to see us probably make some pretty serious foobahs. It'll probably be very entertaining to watch me do the black tank for the first time.
And you'll learn from us. Don't do the things we do.
Don't do what we do, exactly. But maybe do some of the things we do, because we did something right since we're still married after 25 years, right, sweetie?
It's hard to believe. I married a crazy person like you.
That's what happens. All right, well, thanks everybody. And so the video that's going to be coming right after this is actually going to be the video of when we went to do our delivery. So that was like a little over a week ago. And the guy that we talked to did an amazing job showing us all the stuff about this. And I actually recorded the whole thing because really I knew that I wouldn't be able to absorb as much of the stuff that he told me. And that we would need to refer back to it.
Go back to it and watch it
again. I'm going to put some of those tidbits in the video here. I'm not going to share the entire 3-hour video with you because you'll be bored to tears. And otherwise, you can look at some of the really neat stuff that he told us that was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, for instance, I don't know if you can see this. I think you can. These things right here. Apparently,
keep the bees out.
The bees like to swarm into that intake there, and you'll wonder why your stuff's not working, why your furnace isn't working, and it's because apparently the bees like to just set up shop in there. So you'll have like paper wasps and what are the other ones?
Paper wasps and mud daubers.
Mud daubers, right? The mud daubers really like those because of the heat, or just because of the tight space, and those fly in there, and then of course you're not getting any airflow, so shock, it's not working. And apparently they also like to go into the AquaGo and into the back of the refrigerator.
No, that's spiders.
Yeah, there's a spider that likes to go swim in there and do its little thing.
The tip they gave us for that is to go buy a really cheap, inexpensive dog flea collar and cut it in half and put a half in each of those compartments, and apparently it keeps the spider out. So good tip for everybody.
We're doing that, and because I'm all about keeping the yucky spiders from making our stuff not work. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and if you like what you're seeing, hit a like down below, subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing more of this. Boy, I'm like going in and out of the shadow here because the sun's starting to go down. Anyway, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So you don't have to fully deploy this awning if you go somewhere. Say you're parked next to a tree or something like that, and you can only take it out a few feet, just push it out, and then when you get to where you want to be, push the stop button and stop. It does not have to be fully open to use.
That's awesome.
Okay. Bose audio speaker system, so this is part of your speakers. Now this is basically the heart of your electronics and your switches. So to wake it up, the battery has to be on. We'll go over this battery cutoff and stuff as we leave. But to wake it up, I just touch it, and it wakes up. Okay, at the bottom you see all these different menus that I could choose. Right now I'm in the home menu. And in home, we see this stuff here. It's giving me a display of my tanks. My LPG and my gray and my black are empty, my fresh is full, as you can see. I'm seeing my house voltage. I'm plugged into shore power, so I'm charging at 14.2. Water pump is on, water pump is off. As you see, just by touching the switch, I change its polarity of whether it's on or off. Your theater seats, are you familiar with these?
Yes, we sat in them. They're amazing.
I push the buttons and put the thing on.
So you know how they work.
Yep.
Okay. You know how these lights work.
I'm assuming there's switches underneath there, yeah. There's a blue switch and then there's a white switch.
Oh, look at that. It changes the density of the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you have like your little night light.
You can play with
and
them.
your full light.
Sounds good. Then we got
These are awesome.
storage up there. Don't forget to close it all the way when we leave.
Well, there's soft close. So like this, no soft close, but
They won't
like,
close.
Correct. But if you want to, I've tried to get Van Lay to do this at Wayfarer. You get rid of these and you put the magnet latch on. So then once it comes down,
It just closes.
So all their high lines, they use magnets now. So it comes down and the finish is going click.
I don't mind the clicks. That's fine. I got no problem with that.
You pull this out.
Well, you don't have. Again, you can do that after if you want. But
Just sometime
this
before
needs
it
to
gets
be
to the
before it
bottom.
all the way down. Yeah.
And if you do bring it all the way down, those legs aren't down, don't sit on it.
Right. That would be bad. And I've been told by people in the owners forum that we can put a topper on there, so we already bought one.
Nice.
How is it, sweetie?
Comfy. Nice.
Go ahead and push it again. Cool low, push again and say cool auto, I believe. There you go.
Cool auto.
So now the difference between all that is in auto, the fan will turn off when you come to temperature.
Right.
And then the whole thing starts up again when it wants to do whatever it wants to do, heat or cool, because it is a heat pump. The downside of that is that everything comes on when the compressor wants to come on. So it doesn't keep a very equal pressure because the air is not moving. It can be a different temperature here than it is over there. So what I would do, I would have the fan on low or high, depending on what you want to deal with. Like if I'm sleeping at night, I'll leave the fan on low. That way the fan's always there, gives me some white noise, and I don't hear that compressor start and stop. So it doesn't wake me up, because otherwise, that compressor, the whole thing turns on and off, it's going to wake you up.
Right.
Now if it gets too cold outside and the heat pump can't keep it warm in here, because it's actually taking heat from outside and bringing it inside. So when the temperatures get down to about 35, it starts having a hard time finding enough heat to bring inside.
Right, so then I'll turn that
But what
on.
it'll do, it'll try for a while and says, hey, I can't do this. I'm calling on my furnace to help. Furnace helps, brings it to temp, whoop, and it turns off. Okay, we call that strike one. In this game, it's 2 strikes, you're out. So next time around, it tries again. The heat pump comes on, tries to heat it up, and it says, you know what, I can't do it. I'm calling on my furnace to help me again. The furnace comes on and tries. Now, when it comes up to temp, everything turns off. Now, the next time it wants to heat up, the heat pump's saying, you know what, I tried twice, I can't do it. I'm not even going to come on. I'm going to start cycling on my furnace all the time. And that's when you're going to see diff up there. Even though you're on electric heat, it's not going to come on.
Because it's saying,
Because
hey,
it's
I can't
already
keep it
too
there.
cold.
Because it's striked out, right?
Right.
In 24 hours, it'll reset itself and say, okay, let's try this again. Things have had to been changed. It's been a whole day. Maybe I can do it now. And it'll do this all by itself automatically.
Oh,
Well, that's nice. You don't even have
That's
to worry
cool.
about it.
Take a look straight up from where you are.
Straight up.
There you go. That is your fantastic fan. Those things move a lot of air.
yeah, like all the airs.
They'll actually suck a door shut on you if you have it
And
on.
it looks like we have a 1, 2, 3 right here. 0, 1, 2, 3.
That's your 3 different speeds.
Three
Go
different
ahead and
speeds.
open it.
Do I open it like this?
Yep.
Let's see.
And
There we go.
And because you have it on a speed, it came on because there's a switch on the door. If you turn it to 0, you can have it open without the fan on.
So that's 1. That's 2. Doesn't feel like very much.
It's not blowing down, it's pulling out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And 3.
So it's really
and you're
good
not
for.
really opened up all the way either. You're only opened up barely.
Let's see.
Yeah, so
Open
put
it
it
up
all
all
the way
the way.
out.
Oh, more than that.
There you go.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But you got to make sure you close those before you drive away, or
Yeah.
bad things can happen.
Otherwise, everything's
Now
gonna
that
be
brings us
fine.
to another interesting thing is they make these things called vent lid covers, which means you can put the vent lid covers over that and this vent will open everything, but you can leave it open if it's raining and rain
Right,
won't come in.
because it's got like a scoop on the front end, so then you can even drive down the road with it open.
Exactly. You can drive down the road with your vents open and not rip it off. Because if you drive down the road with those open, you will eventually rip the
Yeah,
thing
it'll
off
just like, you know,
until it boom.
Shuts it.
see ya, and then you got to spend money.
That's cool.
Okay, now you said you were a newbie. You don't really know about holding tanks and toilets and stuff.
We've
Exactly,
been watching
nope.
a little bit about on YouTube.
We've been watching videos, but
on
let's hear
people
it from
who
the
are
horse's
doing
mouth
this.
instead of like
Okay.
from some
now,
dude online.
Your black holding tank, when you go to a campsite, you can leave your gray valve open because there's no solids involved with the
Right.
gray. And you just let the gray go. You got a regular city water hookup, so you take long showers. You have a Truma water heater, I think.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Oh, someone started a generator.
I'm like, is that
That's a generator. No, that's not yours. That's next to
God.
us. Oh, what is going on?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the gray is easy.
Yeah.
You know, open, close, however you want to do it. Some people will, when they go to dump their black tank, will close their gray so they can save a bunch of gray water.
Yes,
to
we're
flush
gonna
the
do
hose
that
with.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But other than that, the black tank, before you even use it, you need to charge it. Okay, because the tank is kind of long and it's not too deep. And
If you go in there and drop a big load, then you pyramid, which you don't want to do.
exactly. So basically, what you want, and I think your unit you can actually see straight down. You got to make sure there's water there. You know, at least a little bit of water. So when you use the toilet, it hits water.
Okay.
And it starts to break down. Because
Right.
if you don't, what happens? It hits dry plastic and it
And then it
stays there.
sticks. Right.
Okay. And the next time you use it, it's stuck
Yeah,
on top of
the
that.
guy-
And by the time the water gets there, you already got a a mound about this big. So now it just keeps piling up.
Right. And you don't
How
want
do you
that.
charge it? Like put the water in it? You
Well,
just
he
pump
said
it
to
up,
put a
open it
gallon of
up?
water in with a cup of your stuff, right?
Well, I usually, gallon is better than nothing. I like to see 3 or 4 gallons.
Okay.
I like to see some water
You
in
just
there.
dump it down straight down the toilet.
You can do that, or you can just
Or you can
lift
use
that lid
the.
up. Step on that pedal halfway. There you go. Oh, you went too far. See, you open the valve.
Yep.
Let it go. Now step on it just a little bit, just to make the water flow.
Yeah.
There you go. And you can do that until that bowl fills all the way up. And do that 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay. So you just do
Now
this
that's-
until it fills up 3 or 4 times, and then you got water in there.
And then you've got 4 full, and I bring the water all the way up to here when I dump it. So I make sure I have a
Okay.
lot of water, because if you have enough water in there, you'll be surprised you can put more stuff in that tank, because it all becomes a liquid and it settles down instead of becoming the mound that blocks you up.
Right.
Right. Makes
So-
sense.
And then you also have your skid mark remover back there.
The spray.
I was asking what that was. I'm like, is this like a bidet?
It could be, but it's cold though.
It'd be really
I'm
cold.
just cleaning myself off.
And you might spray stuff into the wrong spot. Just saying.
Do you recommend like putting something like that chemical that you were recommending? You put that straight in there.
Yeah, once you get your water in there, you'll dissolve a little bit of that into a cup, because if you put it straight in, with a big old clump, what
It'll
happens?
stick.
Well, it turns into little rocks. So basically, you want to
okay.
stir it, put it in, get it dissolved, and it makes some heat when it's starting to activate the enzymes or whatever's in there. And then you just dump it in, and then you're fine.
Okay.
And I would also, if you're going to be someplace where you're going to have the gray tank closed, you're going to be doing some dry camping, put it in your gray tank too. It'll help keep the inside of your tank from getting that oily slime on the
Okay.
inside.
Right.
Keep your probes working properly.
Gotcha.
And I can tell you from experience, gray tanks can smell worse than black tanks.
Really?
Yes. So put in your gray tanks.
Well, just think about how bad my pits smell when I've been on a really long bike ride, and just multiply that times however many times I've showered, and
Do I
put
need
that
to
water
flush
in
this
there.
water down?
Yes.
Well, that's another thing. Right now, if you go like this, that's enough water to keep the air sealed.
Okay.
So that's to keep, whatever's in there from coming out. Sort of like your P-traps of your sink. And you can drive. If you don't want any water in there, all you have to do is turn your water pump off, step on it, and the water's all gone. But I would recommend to
want
keep that seal wet.
Yeah, they were saying that even on the
Have
video,
like an
it
inch
always
of
has
water
some
in there
water
all the time, because that's what keeps the smells
it's
from
like
coming
keeps
out.
The seal and the smell from coming out.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
video we watched was really good.
And you have a step-in shower, which is really neat. This is one of the first step-in showers I've seen. Usually
There's a pretty
big
good
lip
hump,
there.
like
This
a
Pretty
like
good
a
size too.
6-inch
this is a real
lip.
shower. This is
It's a
something
legit
I can
home
be
shower.
comfortable in.
Yeah, I mean, I can walk. The only thing I can't do is walk straight in, because I'll club my head on that little bar. But other than that, I can stand up anywhere in there, and I'm 6'4".
Shower
So.
that we took in that
Oh yeah.
what was it? It was the.
It wasn't a
another thing.
Winnebago. It was the
What was it?
Airstream.
Airstream.
But it was
an
a
old
classic Airstream.
that we just
And it
decided
had one of
to
those
do
little
It was
seats.
Like a camp before we bought one, and they were renting this Airstream out. We're like, hey, let's just go stay in this for a weekend and see what we think of it if we like it. And I'm like, I must have a better shower than this kind of thing. This is not gonna work.
It was pretty bad.
And Tiffin usually puts a pretty good shower head in, but they do make a better one called the Oxynetics. We have it inside. If you take a look on the internet, everybody's raving about it. It uses a lot less water, but still gives you the feel of good pressure.
Okay.
It gets you wet. But I can't tell you, I haven't had anybody complain about the shower head that Tiffin puts in. Okay, let's talk about that. That there is your generator. Go ahead and push the on-off button. There you go. Okay, now it's in the on, waiting to start.
So then you push the green to get it started,
Okay,
right?
now push the green to start it. There you go.
There it goes.
There you go.
Woohoo! And then we just hit that off to stop it.
Go ahead. There you go. You're a pro.
And they don't like using those at campgrounds, from what I understand.
Yeah, because they're
They're
kind of
noisy.
loud.
Well, yeah, the decent one here is kind of loud. You can use them in campground, but a lot of them will have time restraints on it. No generators after 8 o'clock.
Right.
Different campgrounds are different.
Right.
So, yes. So, but that all depends on whether you need it or not, how much power you need. Because you also have this. This is your inverter. Right now, it's telling us kind of what's happening. We are plugged into shore power and it's showing a little signal of power there.
Yeah.
Okay. I would advise you in the Progressive Industries. It's lifetime guaranteed.
Okay.
And there's two different ones. There's a hard wire that mounts inside your motorhome.
Okay.
So basically when you plug it in, it's always there.
Always
and it
there.
comes with a little switch on the monitor. So if you are at a park that everybody's running their AC because it's the middle of summer and the voltage goes down,
Right.
you lose all power.
Okay.
That one there has a little switch where you can disconnect the low power dropout.
Okay.
You can't disconnect the surge, but you can disconnect the low power part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That will allow you to run things like your inverter to charge your batteries.
Okay.
But you'll make the conscious decision at that time, I'm not going to run my air conditioner because under 103 volts, you'll tear up the air conditioner.
Right.
Under 103 volts, you're going to tear up the TV or the microwave. Everything else can pretty much run on voltage all the way down to about 80. I know your inverter is fine for voltage all the way down to 80 volts.
Okay.
So that's the neat thing with the one that mounts.
The one that
rig.
mounts in. Okay.
The other one that mounts at the end of the cord that you plug in, you plug your, it doesn't have that switch.
Right.
So when it gets to that point where voltage, you just disconnect it, plug it straight into the wall at that time. So it all depends on what you want. The one that is portable though is also portable. So you need to find some way to lock it up so somebody else doesn't take it because they're not cheap.
Yeah, they're a couple $100 at least, aren't they?
Yes. Thermal water heater. This here is in the off position.
Okay.
Okay, every once in a while, if you let it sit in storage for a while, it's going to be there and that light's going to be off. Just turn it off, wait a few seconds and turn it back on again. Now, you see down here where it says has a snowflake and electricity?
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
for going into winter mode, right?
Correct. And clean is clean mode. Now let me caution you here. If you accidentally turn it down to clean mode, you got about 2 seconds to get it out of there. Otherwise, you're stuck for 4 hours while it's in its process of going through a clean procedure. Even if you put the pellets in there or not, it's still going to go through this time.
It's sort of like when you accidentally do it on your oven and you're like, well, okay, because it's
locked,
locked, you know, and then you can smell that wonderful smell that comes from oven cleaning.
So anyways, yeah, you can buy the cleaning pellet. Basically, it's to decalcify and deline it.
Right, which we probably don't really need around here because we don't have bad water.
No, not here, yeah, but if you go to Arizona, you may have to do it every month.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It depends.
Yeah, for sure.
And we will go to Arizona because his mom lives there.
Yeah, my mom.
And lots of cows, because all the calcite everywhere.
Yeah, it's like a thing. Yeah.
But we would have to do it right after we got back from there.
Yeah. If we were
then you also have eco mode. Eco mode, the difference between eco mode and on is your Truma water heater has a little reservoir on the side in there. Well, in regular mode, it keeps that reservoir hot.
Right.
So if you turn something on, you don't
Instant
have to wait
water.
for the hot water. If you want eco mode, it doesn't keep that reservoir hot. So when you turn it on, it's going to have to go through the whole heat up process, and it's going to consume a lot more water before you get the hot water to the faucet. That is your solar regulator.
Okay.
So basically,
solar.
Yes.
this here is a display. Right now, it's telling me what my voltage is, and I'm at 14.3 because I'm plugged into shore power.
Right.
And this inverter is charging my batteries.
Sure.
If I unplug from shore power, this voltage is going to go down because this is no longer charging my batteries.
Right.
Now I'm going to be static voltage or whatever I'm gleaning from the sun.
So tell me when we use a generator.
How I would use a generator if it were me I'm staying in my coach. I'm dry camping, right? I get up in the morning, I want to make coffee. Instead of making coffee on my inverter, which is a huge draw, and a coffee maker is about 1,500 watts, which is about 150, 160 amps coming out of your batteries. It takes a lot longer to put that power in your battery than it does to take it out. I would start my generator to make my coffee. If I had something I wanted to microwave, I at that time would be doing my microwave or stuff like that in the morning. So my generator will always run about an hour every morning.
Okay.
I'll probably do that again at night too. And when I am camping, I'm dry camping, I go to the sand and I dry camp out there, I could do that indefinitely. As long as I had enough fuel, if I run on my generator an hour a day, an hour at night, I never run out of 12-volt power.
Okay.
So that's
But
just
if you're
something-
plugged into shore power, then
You
you
don't
don't
have to
need to
worry
do that because you're using shore power instead.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand all this stuff, so that helps a lot.
So the generator is really for when you're not plugged in.
Yes, the generator replaces the shore power when it's needed. So I went against the, and the thought was that none of these doors are tall enough for me,
Our TV.
and all it's going to take is one time for me to learn where the door is.
Yep.
That's perfect, yeah.
And that comes out.
That comes out, swivels, and
Does it?
I'm
I'm
pretty sure.
pretty
it comes
sure.
out
Really
and
different.
swivels.
Yeah, I know on the big buses they don't come out, so
Yeah.
you're better than the buses.
We're cool.
Okay, so you got mats, you see your central vac,
Yep.
you see your HEPA bags there.
there's the plug there, which is
You could
handy.
so you could plug in, your blender here for your daiquiris or margaritas.
Or
underneath your
our
Milkshake.
no, that maybe, but I was thinking the pizza cooker.
Oh,
Oh yeah. We need the pizza cooker.
We have this awesome
We have
pizza
this awesome
cooker.
Pizza cooker that we have to bring with us.
well, just make sure you're plugged into shore power. Run the generator when you make it.
Right.
It probably uses a lot of power.
I'm sure it
The inverter
does.
will
Yeah.
probably do it, but you'll wipe out your batteries.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that.
We'll just make sure we're plugged in if we use that, or we got the generator on.
This is the back of your refrigerator. It's not storage, but
Yeah.
you need to keep it clean. The thing that happens is there's this little spider that loves the smell of propane gas. And what he'll do is when you're not running it, he'll crawl in that little hole and make a web. And then it blocks this up. And you can't dig it out. You have to actually dig it out and use air and alcohol to get it out. One way to keep that from happening is get yourself a flea collar, cut it in half, and lay it right here.
Oh.